Hello parents, this video we are going to talk about positioning, and I will take you through about the importance of positioning and how you will position your child with cerebral palsy. When it comes to positioning, the aim is to ensure that there is correct alignment maintained throughout the body. This alignment helps in prevention of contractures, and it also helps in prevention of secondary complications like deformities, muscular stiffness, and increased spasticity. Always remember when you are positioning your child, if child is stiff, make sure to loosen up the child. This can be done through passive stretches, and the passive stretches should be very slow and rhythmical. Never force a position on a child, as this will increase the spasticity of that child, because the child will be fighting to be in his normal position. When beginning to position your child, start with what the child can tolerate and gradually increase the duration. Always remember to keep on changing the position of the child. So the child is not supposed to be in that position for more than 30 minutes, as this will make him very uncomfortable and he'll be fighting to go back to his normal comfortable position. Okay, this is our child now, and there are kids who tend to be very spastic. You find that kids, when they are sleeping, their legs are crisscrossed or in a scissor position. So what are we going to do? The first thing that you're going to do is you undo away with the crisscross. So you're going to hold the big toe, you bend it, you bend the big toe, and you flex the hip. Now we are done away with the crisscross. So the next thing that you're going to do, you're going to hold the child and you flex the hip. You continue flexing the hip. You do like 10 repetitions for the child to loosen up. So the movement you are going to do, you're going to do it very slow and rhythmical. This is to prevent you from injuring your child. After you've loosened up the hip joint, which is one key point of control, you also have to loosen up the shoulder joint, because you might find some kids with a clenched fist and the hand is very stiff, so you also need to loosen that up. So how do you do that? You bring your hand, you put it below the shoulder joint, the other hand on top. So you are like putting some pressure. It's more of doing a mobilization of that shoulder joint till that hand is loosened up. Now after we've loosened up our child, so we've reduced the spasticity of the child, now we are ready to position our child. Now we are going to demonstrate on prone position or tummy lying position on our child. The main aim of this lying on the tummy position or the prone position, it helps in the trunk stability of that child, and also it helps in strengthening the neck muscles, and also it helps in alignment of the whole body. Positioning our child, we can use a wedge. This is a wedge. This is a wedge. We can use it to position our child. And if you're not able to be in a position of owning one, you can always use an alternative. You can use blankets. You fold them to form the shape of a wedge. I will show you later. These wedges are available in our workshop. If you are willing to purchase one, feel free to contact us. The most important thing that you consider and you should remember when you are positioning a child on the wedge is that the hands and the head have to be free, and also the trunk alignment has to be in a correct position. You put your child on the wedge on the back, and you slowly turn the child to one side by holding the child at the key points of control. Here we'll be holding the shoulder joint and the hip joint, and you slowly turn the child to one side like this, and the other hand you remove it and you put your hands forward. Now our child, the hands are free, the head is free, so he is able to play with different things. You can put toys there and you can be playing with the child in this position. You cannot leave the child alone without him being secured. So what you'll do is, if you have a strap, you can put the strap here. But if you bring a bed sheet, you put it across the hip joint or across the hip of the child. You can secure this side using weights, or you can use a jerry can of water to secure this side, and also do the same to the other side. As I earlier told you, it's not a must you have a wedge to position your child. You can always use blankets to position your child. So you fold the blankets to form sort of a wedge, and you can position your child. So you fold your blanket. This is a blanket, you fold it. You can use like 3 blankets to form sort of a shape of a wedge like this. You put them together and then you fold them down. So now you can see we formed our wedge using blankets. So we take our child slowly and we put our child on the wedge, just like this. Okay, the first position that we did was prone position, or lying on the tummy. Now I'm going to show you the second position, which is lying on your back, or supine position. So all you need to do is just, as I told you, you check on the hands being free, the head movement should also be free, and also the legs and the feet have to be very, very free also, so that the child is able to move around his limbs and the hands. You put a pillow beneath the head, and this child is spastic, so we also need to make sure that we have a good alignment at the spine. So we're going to put a roller below the knees, and if you don't have a roller, you can always use your bed sheets. You roll them into a roller. This is how you're going to do it. You roll your bed sheet slowly and nicely, and you flex and you put below the knees. And also you can find some bed sheets or something you can roll into a roller also You can use bedsheet to roll into small rollers and you put beneath the hands. Slowly like this, so you put below the hands, like that. So always make sure that the shoulder joint is forward so that the child is able to play. In this position you can put something, some toys above the child so that the child is able and he can try to reach. The third position that we are going to demonstrate is sideline. We're going to hold the child at the key points of control at the shoulder joint and at the hip. So we roll the child towards one side, and keep in mind that this position is better when you do it against the wall. So you put a pillow beneath the head of the child, and this other hand, you make sure it's forward, not the child lying on it. So you make sure that the other hand is forward and free, and the leg below should be straight, and you flex this leg. And it's always better to put a pillow between the legs of the child to prevent friction, and you flex the leg above. It's always better to position your child in a sideline position against the wall, or you can do it on a sofa. So in this position, as we can see, the hands are free. So the hands are very free to move along. So you can put toys or anything in front of the child, so the child can freely play with whatever that you put in front of him.